When it comes to platonic or romantic relationships, I feel like I did everything that I could to make it work, honey. I will move on and I will not feel bad about it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Diamond Baby and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about friendship trauma, child. And I have made a little quick video on TikTok and people really resonated with it. So I said, let me go ahead and go into a little bit more detail because I have some experience in this area. It's a bad thing. Well, it's not really a bad thing because it has made me a better friend. And it also has opened up the space for me to make better friends. I'm also hungry, so I'm gonna be cooking some dinner while we go through this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If you're not already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Y'all know my name on all platforms is Diamond Baby, but go ahead and start with YouTube first because you're already here, sis. And then you can move on to Instagram, TikTok, and all the things, Pinterest, all the things, honey. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. As far as dinner goes, y'all know I'm a boring basic hoe that likes to eat frozen fruit from Trader Joe's, so get into it. I'm making some salmon. Salmon is right there over there. I also have these mixed vegetables that I got from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna have a little bit of organic jasmine rice, honey. I will always eat white rice. I'm not eating brown rice. I might eat wild rice, but honestly, when it comes to calories, the rice is all the same. Just weigh your rice out, don't overeat it, right? Then I'm gonna add some kimchi, because you know, we all about gut health here. I'm a girl with stomach issues, so we gotta make sure we're adding in things to take care of our gut. Hopefully the air fryer is not too bad in the background, but we're gonna start off just talking about what friendship trauma even is. This is my definition. I don't know if there's like a legal definition. Using my olive oil spray. I don't know if there's like a technical definition. I've only learned about this from my therapist. But friendship trauma is basically when raggedy hoes inflict trauma on you because they were bad friends. I mean, that's not really the definition, but that's how I look at it. And that can cause trauma. Like, you can be traumatized in your friendships when it comes to moving forward. You can be traumatized when it comes to like feeling like a burden. You can be traumatized when it comes to just how you open up to somebody because you have been traumatized from a prior experience. The friendship trauma that I have is kind of bad. And when I say bad, I just mean like, one of my best friends was just a raging bitch. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, we were friends on and off for a really long time, and I love her to death. Like, I just want to start by saying that I do love her to death. And a lot of the trauma came from me being scared to lose her as a friend. I wouldn't speak up for myself. So one thing about friendship trauma is that you have to really sit there and figure out what you could have done better. And I feel like what I could have done better in our friendship was speak out when she would make me extremely uncomfortable or when she would hurt my feelings or the things. But every time I would start to, I would be gaslit and be told like I'm too sensitive or you require too much. And at one point it came to like a head. She told me that she doesn't love her friends unconditionally. She said, I don't love my friends unconditionally. I only have that kind of love for men. I don't need that kind of love from women. And that's kind of when I realized like we're not meant to be friends because we just aren't on the same wavelength. And I don't mean that as a dig, but like, I feel like a lot of the reason why she was the way she was is because she didn't grow up in like a family-oriented environment, which caused her to not value friendships like people who grew up with sisters or brothers or cousins, because those are often your first close best friends, right? I could be going in a circle, and I apologize for that because I'm kind of just winging this video, speaking from the heart. But that friendship really traumatized me because I often felt like what I wanted from a friend was too much, you know? I definitely felt like she did not support me. She was honestly the Molly to my Issa. I feel like when my life was really chaotic and I was all over the place and I didn't really know what I had going on because I'm not a person that has had a linear path. You guys will hear me say that often. I feel like that's when she like felt good about herself, and that's when she was like happy to be around me because I felt like her life was really linear. And when I started to take off and figure shit out and things started to really change for me, she disappeared and she wasn't there. And she would start acting funny with me, or she would have really negative things to say and just tell me like, oh, you're dumb for not getting any sleep. And mind you, it wasn't like I was just getting zero sleep, but some days I would have to wake up a little earlier or work a little later to accomplish my goals. I was working towards a promotion, and she just always had negative things to say about anything positive I was doing. And it's just like, girl, are you jealous? Or like, are you just somebody that has to be the person that's always the most successful one? And I just assumed that me expecting support from a friend was too much, and that's trauma. For example, I was the leader, or I became a board member of the Black Employee Network at Amazon. And before I was a board member, she would come with me to every event because they were fun. Honey, when I tell you I became a board member, she didn't come to anything. Nothing. She even went to like somebody else's event one time. The day that she's supposed to come to mine. And I'm like, are you for real? Because I supported her through everything, because that's the kind of friend you're supposed to have. But just giving you examples on how dealing with something like that can cause you to be very, very jaded when it comes to making friends, or how much you rely on a friend or what you need from friends in the future. The veggies are cooking, honey. The veggies are cooking. With time, it just eventually became like really uncomfortable to be around her. We weren't not getting along. We were arguing a lot. And she probably felt the same about me. I know she felt the same about me. But the thing about it is with her, she would pick and choose like when she wanted to participate in something. But the thing about it is with her, it's like she would get upset with me for like venting about a bad boyfriend, or you know, things of that sort. But she expected me to be there through all her mess. And I would be, because in my mind, that's what I was supposed to do. But I was lacking boundaries, and she was trying to set boundaries. But the way she would try to insert a boundary in the middle of like me going through something, I just felt it was very manipulative behavior. And that's why I call her my Molly friend, because you see how Molly did that bullshit with Issa on season 5, I believe, or was it season 4 of Insecure. I was often very confused on like what I should be doing in the friendship, what was asking for too much, how to respect boundaries, and all those things. But the thing about boundaries is, if you have a boundary and you don't set the foundation of a boundary, it's not clear, you can't be mad at somebody for not setting it. So that's something that we both did wrong. She definitely did it wrong, and I didn't do it at all. Okay, I did not set any boundaries, because in my mind, you're supposed to go all out for your friend, period. Saying all that to say, the friendship did end. And I won't say it was a bad ending, because I was at the point where I feel like I had done everything that I could for the friendship. And that's something about me when it comes to platonic or romantic relationships. I feel like I did everything that I could to make it work, honey. I will move on, and I will not feel bad about it. So I was so fed up, and I had tried to have one final conversation with her. One final one. And it ended up with me in tears, just crying. And she said she didn't want to lose me as a friend, but she still did some things that were very questionable. And it just was really time for the friendship to end. You want to know how I knew that it really was time for the friendship to end, though? I talked to my therapist about it, and she said, you know what? When you talk about her, it sounds like that one really bad boy that you have in your life. That really toxic relationship. Like, this friendship is toxic. I think it's time for you to move on. And unfortunately, you know, I wish there could have been additional conversations. Where I was at the time, I just didn't feel like it was necessary. We kind of just both agreed to go our separate ways. And like I said, I love her to death. I always will. And yeah, we're just not meant to be friends. And I think a lot of it comes from how we learn to love and how we grew up, our upbringing. Luckily, through the new experiences that I was having in my life, I was starting to already develop some really good friends. And I also had really close friends that, you know, were in my life and were great friends as well. They just weren't my main person, my best friend. So I didn't really feel like I was missing too much at the time. The relationships that I was starting to build were people that had interests that aligned with me, people that believed in me. They're meeting me at a new version of myself where I didn't really have to worry about them, you know, trying to take advantage of me because of my past mistakes or my past lifestyle or any of those things. And when I say past lifestyle, I mean, you know, when I was struggling trying to figure my shit out, you know? And some people may not even consider that a struggle. They may have just considered it me growing up and finding my way. But the new friends that I had were just the friends that I always wanted. The trauma did kind of affect how I opened up to them, but the way they showed up for me, it didn't last long. It didn't last long at all. And right now, they are the most amazing friends I could ever ask for. They are amazing. Like, my life has changed with them in my corner. If y'all ain't eating this Trader Joe's kimchi, y'all need to. I'm not really a spicy girl, but this is good. Having them in my corner really taught me that you're not gonna have to ask for people to show up for you. If you guys are meant to be friends and the love is there mutually, it's just going to happen naturally. And I'm so grateful for that. About it is like, even when it comes to my childhood friends, I feel like, you know, they might feel like my new friends are weird or my new friends are corny or all the things, but it's just like, these new friends actually are a lot like me. We became friends due to proximity, which is okay, but we never really got to figure out if we were each other's cup of tea for real. The basis that we had to kind of become friends was very simple. We're in school together, we work together, whatever. But as an adult, your friends tend to have interests that align with yours. And like I said, they're meeting you at this new version of yourself, and they don't have to worry about any past version. They see you for who you are now, you can move forward. If you're somebody that has friendship trauma, you had a friendship breakup, friendship breakups can be very hard. just as bad, or if not worse, as a romantic relationship, because really strong friendships can kind of end up being very intimate as well. But yeah, if you're going through that, just know that it's going to get better. There are going to be people that support you. There are going to be people that will love you. You can have a solid group of friends. You're not always going to have a friend group. I don't particularly have a friend group. I do have a group of friends where we kind of all run in the same circle, but at the same time, a lot of my friends come from different times in my life, and that's completely okay with me. My best friend is my best friend. She my person. Then I got, you know, my group of friends where it's like 3 or 4 of us where we all kind of run in the same circle, but then I have my childhood friends too. But they all bring so many good things to my life. I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not having a solid friendship group. Friendships are just like anything else that you really want in your life. You really have to work for it. So if you allow the trauma to hold you back for too long, you're just gonna feel defeated and you're gonna be like, oh, it's too hard to make friends. But if you're not putting yourself out there and allowing yourself to see that, okay, one failed friendship doesn't mean that they're all going to be bad. Or even if you do have 2 failed friendships, they're not all going to be bad. You have to give it a chance. You have to consider things possibly going really well. And if you're like me and you just really love friendship, sisterhood, all the things, you're gonna do that, right? You're gonna give yourself the best shot of having a solid support system. As far as meeting friends, you have to put yourself out there, One reason why I do the Multifaceted Black Girl Meetup group, formerly known as Black Girls in Tech Houston Meetup, is because I knew that as soon as I came to Houston, I needed to build a community and I wanted to make friends. And I wasn't going to do that sitting up at home talking about, oh my God, it's so hard to make friends. Like, girl, how? Just like if you want to meet a man, you ain't gonna meet no man in your living room. You got to go out to make friends, okay? And you might come across some people that are kind of weird, but ultimately, if you keep trying, you're going to find some people that you mesh with, and you never know what it's going to turn into. Literally, I met my best friend by going to a meetup group, and I was like, girl, I really like your vibe. She's like, I like your vibe too. Eventually, we kept talking, and now she's the person I talk to the most, okay? That is my person. But if I wouldn't have gone to that event, and I stayed my ass at home, complaining like, oh my God, it's so hard making friends in a new city. Oh my God, it's so hard making friends with an adult. I wouldn't have no best friend right now. And I actually have the best friend that I always wanted, okay? She's like me and I am her, and I'm grateful for that. So put yourself out there, go to networking events, go to bars, you know, just do random things. Go to the, you know, a fitness class. There's so many ways that you can meet people. And like I said, if you are trying, it's going to come to you. You just have to try. I just put my air fryer in, but I used Trader Joe's sea salt. I'm just really a Trader Joe's girl. The salmon rub, honey, a gift to all salmon. Salmon don't know how good their body is, and adding this on it, make it even better. And then I just use pepper. I have salt and pepper shakers, but I don't know why I don't use them. Very unserious. I think another way of thinking about it is also not letting people have that kind of power over you. Like letting one failed friend in your life be the reason why you don't give yourself the opportunity of having more friends that are amazing in your life. Like, you deserve good friendships. You deserve good friendships. You deserve good friendships. Even though I have amazing friends and I feel like I'm pretty much healed from that past experience, I sometimes still see the trauma, like, you know, resurfacing every here and there. Like, sometimes I'll be going through some shit and I'll be talking to my best friend and I'll be like, girl, I'm sorry, like, to be woe is me, or I'm sorry, I don't want to be a burden, or, you know, don't worry about it. And she'd be like, girl, I'm here for you. You're not a burden. You don't have to be sorry. Like, we can talk about it. You good. I got you. And I'd be like, thank you, because in the past it will be a problem, you know. So I kind of will subconsciously stop myself from allowing my friend to love on me, and she checks that, so I'm grateful for her. I also have to make sure I'm doing the work myself by reminding myself that it's okay to let somebody be there and support you. I'm pretty good at it, but like I said, sometimes the trauma can resurface, and, you know, either I do my self-work, or sometimes, you know, I might just bring it up with my therapist, like, girl, I'm struggling to let people support me. But like I said, it's kind of rare. You know, we have to clean up as we go, but make sure you are always doing some self-reflection. Be aware of trauma dumping onto your friends. Make sure that you're asking them if they have the capacity to listen to what you have to say. Make sure that you don't have unrealistic expectations with your friends. Yes, they should support you, but at the same time, it needs to be realistic. Don't be mad at your friend for not texting you back when they've been working all day and you feel like you're in crisis. If it's an emergency, text them 911. But if it's not, like I said, be realistic. You can't expect people to just not have their own thing going on. And also, like, think back to your past friendships, like I mentioned earlier. Think back to what you could have done differently. You may not have been the problem per se, but there is always something that you could have done better. The main thing that I could have done better, again, was communicate my feelings. My therapist tells me all the time, girl, you can tell people how they made you feel, and be cautious of their feelings, but that doesn't mean you have to neglect yours. Just because you're aware of their feelings and you don't want to hurt their feelings doesn't mean that yours all of a sudden do not matter. So I wish I would have communicated more, and I wish I would have had stronger boundaries, and I feel like I would have done better. But now I'm healed, and you live and you learn. You know, you become a better person overall, and that trickles down into the relationships in your life. Be aware that everybody loves differently. Be aware that everybody shows support differently. Like, yes, you should be the love and the support that you want to receive, but that does not mean that it has to look exactly like yours does. Just because, you know, you stop your day all of a sudden and you, you know, neglect your personal needs to be a good friend, that doesn't mean that your friend is wrong for not doing the same. It means that your friend probably has good boundaries and you don't. So there's so many different things that you can kind of sit with yourself and figure out when it comes to being a better friend, in the interest of attracting better friends as well. But, you know, like I said, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It all starts with putting yourself out there. Then it starts with giving yourself the chance to say, I deserve good friendships. I am a good friend. I'm attracting good friendships. And from there, it should be a match made in heaven. You will find your person. I'm going to reference Molly and Issa again because they got through their friendship trauma, and in the end, they were soulmates. Regardless, they were soulmates. So you will find your soulmate in a friend. Even if you have to go through some Mollys, or even if you and your Molly fall out and you piece it back together, that is actually something that I wish was a possibility with my bad friendship breakup, but I really don't think we're meant to be friends. I do think that we could possibly still be cordial if we would have talked it out, but we missed that opportunity. So now I just love her from a distance, you know? Dinner is delicious and healthy. Remember, repeat affirmations for your life. I deserve good friends. I am a good friend. I'm attracting good relationships. I'm attracting supportive relationships. Say these affirmations just like anything else you want in life. Just like you want money, just like you want love. If you want good friendships, say your affirmations, set good intentions, and work on yourself as well, and it will happen. Do not let friendship trauma hold you back from getting the friendships that you deserve, because you deserve good friendships. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat dinner. I'm very hungry. I'm sorry this video was all over the place. I really wanted to be casual, just to chit chat off the dome. But if you have any questions or feel like you want me to elaborate on anything that I said, go ahead and let me know. Another reminder to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, Dimey Baby. And I'm Dimey Baby on all other platforms as well, because I make it easy for you. And you guys have a wonderful night. Be safe, and I'll be back later. Okay, bye.